Hello and welcome to Future Forces Forum 2024, which is one of the biggest defense and military events of the year held in Prague. I'm Pavel Ciprik and my guest here is spokesperson for Czechoslovak Group, which is the general partner of Future Forces Forum and mainly the largest defense industry group in Central Europe, Mr. Andrej Čírtek. Hello and welcome.
Hello.
Andrej, please take us through the event. What's happening here?
Future Forces Forum is quite unique combination of networking platform because you have many conferences here and of defense exhibition. So, for example, in our case, we are exhibiting our armored vehicles, our radars, our ammunition products, and also maybe the biggest piece of equipment exhibited here at Future Forces Forum, which is our newly developed self-propelled artillery system Morana. So Future Forces Forum is exhibition on one side, but on the other hand, it's very important networking event. And in area of defense and defense industry, meeting people in person all over the world is still the most important channel of communication.
There is a lot of new technologies here, like suits, like drones, and a lot of innovations. Is this the future of the army or the battlefield in general?
Yeah, I think Future Forces Forum share a bit the general feeling, a lot of which is generated by Ukrainian war. You see great emphasis of drones, anti-drone systems, heavier drones carrying smaller drones, etc., etc. But as also former Chief of Staff of Czech Army, General Šedivý, mentioned here at one conference, we shouldn't be too heavily oriented on drones. It's still true that army must be balanced. It must include air force, land forces, and it's still true that to control territory, you must use infantry. So we shouldn't be too much focused on drones. It's a very important trend, but one of trends which we must focus on.
How the perception of the army or defense itself has changed over the last 2 years?
Incredibly. I would say that the Russian aggression against Ukraine, open Russian aggression, changed things overnight. In our case, it immediately changed our relationship with banks, with politicians. Everybody understood immediately that defense industry is a key component for protecting freedom and security of Europe. And politicians, banks and public behave to us according to this. So everybody sees now that defense industry is very important strategically. It also generates well-paid jobs and especially very innovative products with high added value.
With the banks, that was not the case before the war. How the banks saw you before the event?
There were complications for defense companies to get financing, and there was a tendency to see defense industry, despite the fact that defense industry supplies police forces, armed forces, to see defense industry in the same pack like, for example, with a bit of exaggeration, tobacco industry. Despite the fact that, from my perspective, it's not ethical to have this viewpoint, and it's not true. And this changed. Now everybody understands what is the true nature of defense industry.
How your business actually changed? How exactly has changed with the war in Ukraine?
There is incredible gap now between demand and supply, especially in some categories. The most visible gap is the European capacity to produce high caliber artillery ammunition. And what we managed to do in a course of 2 years is to make a vertical integrated chain of companies and partners within our group, which are able to produce final product from scratch. And this is a huge success, and we became one of the most important players in artillery ammunition in Europe and maybe also in the world. So this is one area. But of course, that other types of defense equipment are needed. For example, we delivered in last almost 3 years almost 1,000 pieces of land systems to Ukraine, be it tanks, infantry fighting vehicles, artillery systems. But still, most of our revenues and most of our projects take place in NATO countries. So we are very important partners, especially for Czech Republic and other NATO countries.
How you have responded for the increased demand? Did you buy new factories? Did you hire more people? What was the optimization of the process of your companies?
Everything combined. We are investing heavily in our existing production capacities. We are building new facilities. We are installing new production lines. We are hiring hundreds of new employees all over our companies in the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Spain, and other countries. And of course, that another way how to grow is to acquire another companies. We are focused especially on building a pillar of small caliber ammunition, which is concentrated in a division which we call CSG Ammo Plus. Now this pillar includes Italian-based producer of small caliber ammunition, Fiocchi, which has also 2 production sites in US. And now we are in a process to acquire the most important producers of small caliber ammunition in US, for example, brands like Remington and Federal. And we should finalize this acquisition probably until the end of this year.
Yeah, how is it going? Because there should be some meeting on 9th.
Shareholders meeting.
Shareholders meeting on 9th of October. How is it going? It will be happening?
Such an acquisition is incredibly complicated, not only from financial point of view, because this will be the biggest investment of Czech industry and on US soil ever.
How much is how much the money is?
More than $2 billion US. Okay. And it's not only about money, it's also about regulations, about building relations with shareholders and other stakeholders. And this process is very complicated. For example, the shareholders meeting was postponed several times. But now we are finally in a stage when we achieve the solution which is acceptable and preferable by shareholders of the company Vista Outdoor. Shareholders prefer to sell Vista Outdoor as a whole. And we as CSG want to buy only one part of Vista Outdoor, kinetic division, which includes those brands of small caliber ammunition. And there is another partner which is willing to buy the second part of Vista Outdoor, which is dealing with outdoor products. And together we are bringing to shareholders the solution they asked for. So now we believe in success, and we believe that this success, the closing of the transaction, will take place until the end of this year.
What does it mean for the CSG, this acquisition? How much bigger you will be, and what you are going to do with it?
It's incredible milestone. It will be the biggest investment of Czech capital in the United States. And if you are successful in the United States, you are successful worldwide. So for us, it's incredible milestone. It will change our corporate culture. It will make us even more global. And it will make us strategic producer also in the United States, important employer also in the United States, and it will enhance our global reputation and also enhance our capacity of producing small caliber ammunition, making us probably the leading producer of small caliber ammunition in all Western democratic world.
So the ammunition is the key for the CSG for the future. What are the other parts you are focusing on from your portfolio, because it's quite big?
It's not only about ammunition, and you must see different categories. high caliber ammunition is different business. Small caliber ammunition is different business. But we are developing also our land systems division. We are also developing our aerospace division. And we also established a venture capital fund called Presto Tech Horizons. And we use this fund to support, to invest in emerging technological innovative companies. We already selected first companies, and these companies are coming with innovations using disruptive technologies like AI, virtual and augmented reality, or quantum computing. And these technologies will be incorporated in our, let's say, classic products, in our land systems, in our armored vehicles, in our artillery systems. So we are becoming not only industrial and machinery group, but also, let's say, high-end, very innovative company using emerging breakthrough disruptive technologies.
And some
today.
technologies you are in mind, you can talk about for the future of the company. Are there any you are planning to do in the couple of years now?
I think that the process of adoption of such technologies will take years, but we are already starting with it now. For example, components of artificial intelligence are incorporated in our air traffic systems, because we are dealing also with air traffic control systems and software, or are incorporated in our internal system of management of production. And sooner or later, these systems will be used also, for example, in our radars or in our armored vehicles.
What you are missing in your chain of supply? What's the part of you want to have, but there are big demand about them, and you're not able to use them for mass production or better production?
Supply chain is almost stretched. Usually, I would say it's common situation in any area. The most visible area where the supply chain is stretched and there is a gap between demand and supply is high caliber ammunition. And the only thing you can do is to invest in production and to enhance capacities, and in some cases even restart facilities which were closed, for example, 10 years ago, because it's very hard to build new ammunition factory in Europe with such regulation like we have now. So we use always possible. We acquire new companies, we invest in existing capacities, and in some cases we even reopen facilities which were closed years ago.
What's your biggest market, and where are you aiming to be? Of course, the United States, but where else? What part of the world you want to be?
The biggest market for us, generating more than 2/3 of our revenues, are NATO countries. But we want to diversify, and we are a very diversified company regarding our customer portfolio. So, of course, that very important market is Ukraine now, but we also operate in Asian countries, like, for example, Indonesia or Vietnam, in countries of North Africa, for example, and also in Arabic world. So we are very diversified.
You are speaking about the revenues. You have some knowledge for us how big they will be for this year, because there were quite a big gap or big step between the years, last 2 years. So how does it look like for this year?
There will be another huge increase in revenues and profits in 2024. This is what I can say, and we can expect another jump. Just looking at our numbers from first and second quarter of this year. So we will grow again in higher tens of percent, both in revenues and profits. But we must use this profit to invest in our companies and to fill the gap which is now on the market.
Okay, that's it. Andrej Čírtek, spokesperson for Czechoslovak Group. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And that's from me, from us now, thank you very much for watching.